Hi everybody, how are you? It's Jay Victoria. So I wanted to do this video. I've been thinking about this and I think that it is really, really cool and I just want to talk about it. So the energy of the sign of the cross. So the sign of the cross, I just realized I have lotion in my hair. Okay, it's all good. So the sign of the cross is traditionally something I think a lot of Catholics do. You just go like Father, Son, Holy Spirit, like kind of your forehead, your heart, your left shoulder, your right shoulder. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. So you may have seen people going like that. I wanted to talk about the energy of this though, and that I mean, just my opinion, but I don't think you have to be Catholic to do it. Because what I see energy visually, and I have been seeing for a while that there's something energetic that happens when you make the sign of the cross. This is what happens when you make the sign of the cross. So you go like that. You know what happens right after you do that? This cross of light goes like that out in front of you. Just imagine like a line from here and a line from here, and then as soon as you complete it, it's all full of light, those two lines, and it goes like that in front of you. There's probably a lot of reasons why that happens, but I mean, from speculating about what that could mean, I think it protects you. And obviously it's something good if it's light that's coming out. It's like a signal and it's good. And I wanted to talk about how I think there's a lot of skepticism among people who are interested in energy. It's funny, it's like kind of coming from both sides. It's like people who are super religious are skeptical of people who work with energy, and people who work with energy are skeptical of people who are super religious. And I'm both. So like I'm super religious and I literally work with energy and I see energy. And for me, I think that one of the things I'm supposed to talk about is how these things are the same and they're not separate. And even the mass itself is an energetic process, and even making the sun, something as simple as the sign of the cross, is an energetic process and result that you're creating. And what this is about is really the masculine and the feminine, because the religious structure is very masculine. It's very much of it like organizational. It's something you can belong to. It's like a lot of elements of what the masculine is: logic, organization, physical world, a physical location that you go to in the church, like all very masculine. And then the feminine is like the spiritual world, which is very unbound and very magical, and I guess you could say it's unregulated, but it's very real, and they both matter and they're both equal. And I was thinking about the symbolism of the cross itself and how I believe, just from my own personal understanding, that why we need to stop judging each other is because, like, whatever side you might veer more toward, is because that is like, it just makes sense, like, and that's what the cross is about. The cross is literally, why is it here to here? Why is there a vertical line? It's the marriage of heaven and earth, the connection of heaven and earth. And why is there a horizontal line? It's the connection of the feminine to the masculine. Heaven, earth, feminine, masculine. Heaven, earth is also feminine, masculine, because heaven is spiritual world, masculine is physical world. It's literally saying feminine, masculine, unite, feminine, masculine, unite, because the left side of the body, which is the first side that you touch. The first shoulder that you touch is your left shoulder. When you make the sign of the cross, is the feminine side. Heaven to earth, heaven to earth. The left side of the body is the feminine side. The right side is the masculine side. So literally, the cross itself is teaching us about the unification of the feminine and masculine and how important that is. So if you think that Jesus doesn't know anything about energy and is mad at energy and energy work and doesn't want us to talk about feminine and masculine, that's literally what he's about. Because high energy itself is the unification of your feminine and your masculine energies. Why are you on earth as a spirit? That is the unification of feminine, masculine, spirit and planet. Spirit, feminine, being in the world, masculine, physical world. Like, this is everywhere, you know, and he knows that you're physical. He knows that you have physical needs. He knows that you're a spirit at the same time. Like, the words even that we use for all of this is our own language and understanding, but it's like, to say that that's separate from him is crazy. And it's like, think about how he died on the cross. And he died for our sins. And like, I had the privilege of having a vision of the energy of the death and the resurrection years ago in 2019, and it just happened. I didn't know why it was happening. It just happened. And what I saw was that the death was really about not just a physical death and physical agony. It was about spiritual agony and him taking on all the negative frequencies. Another word for negative frequencies or negative energy is fear. And it's when we fear, or negative beliefs is another way to put it. When we choose negative beliefs or when we fear, he took all of those on spiritually. And so he didn't just suffer physically, even though he suffered a lot physically, he suffered spiritually because he took all of that on. And it killed him, but the resurrection was instant and permanent. And when he rose again, he conquered all the negative energy, meaning that because he resurrected, we can now always bounce back from negativity in our own lives. We can bounce back from anything negative that ever happened, any trauma, any fear, any negative energy that's inside of us, any block that's inside of you, like, is never going to have the final say, because he literally already cleared all of it. And what we have now is just like basically an illusion that we can either like dwell in or let go of. And that's why he talks about, like, I'm just going to be honest, like in the energy world, the resurrection energy is the biggest deal and the highest frequency, and everybody knows it. In the energy world, all the negative energies know it, all the positive energies, the angels, everybody knows the resurrection energy is the highest frequency. It's basically all you need. It's a light purple energy visually, and it's like stupid, I'm just gonna be honest, to not access that in your life, to ignore it or to act like it doesn't matter, because you can look for healing in a lot of different places in a lot of different ways. And there are a lot of people who do a lot of really powerful work with energy, but like, I'm always a little bit like, why are we not using the power of the resurrection here? Because the resurrection energy is the most powerful energy, just point blank. There's nothing more powerful. It just is. And so much negative energy that's creeping around, it does creep around, by the way. It lurks, it tries to it honestly waits, and it tries to convince you to believe in negative things just so it can come inside of you, and he wants you to choose fear, because it can't come inside of you without your permission. You have to choose to be fearful, and then it comes inside of you, and then it you know, fucks up your energy in your life, because your energy creates your life. And yeah, but like, listen, but I'm always like, honestly, not quite understanding anybody who works with energy who doesn't talk about the resurrection energy. People might talk about the violet flame, which I believe could be the same thing because it's the same color we're talking about, the light purple energy. But like, that really is it. It's like, if you connect to that, it's the highest, most powerful frequency that destroys all negativity, can resurrect you, can help you. The closer you get to it, the better your life will be. The further you'll get along, the faster you'll heal. It's like such a waste to not leverage the resurrection energy that is literally a gift to all of us. So if you're having a hard time believing in Jesus, or if you are, you know, looking for answers, all I can say is that I work with energy. I grew up Catholic, so I know I have the background to like prime me to believe in Jesus, but I didn't have a connection with him until I started experiencing the energy of all of these things. And energy makes sense to me. And energy, I watch, and I you know, it's a logical world that's governed by laws, just like the natural world. So it's like, it's just, there's so many answers that you can find there, that when you learn how it works, it makes sense. And it's just like, I feel like we complicate things as humans, and we think that like, you know, I have to be a certain way or a certain kind of person to believe in Jesus or talk about Jesus. And I might even be a bad person, because a lot of people who talk about Jesus are really judgmental people. And I just like, for me, I really encourage you to just like go through energy itself and learn from that, and do away with everybody's opinions, you know, and no one has to even know if you're connecting to the resurrection energy. And like, it's just, it literally is there for you. And I think it's really interesting that negative energy wants to manipulate you and hide this fact from you and keep you from it so that it can control you. And why does it do that? It always does that because you're powerful. It always does that because you have a purpose. It always does that because there's something good that you are going to bring to the world when you're in your resurrected state, not being held down by trauma, not being held down by fear, not living in negative patterns. There's a version of you that's going to do something that helps people, that matters. You're going to be a testimony for a lot of positive things that will inspire people. And the thing that negative energy is the most afraid of is the truth about Jesus being revealed, which is that it's the most familiar feeling inside of yourself that you've ever had. It's you when you feel like yourself. That's what he feels like. And I think negative energy loves to manipulate and distort and scare us about who Jesus is, and that he's judgmental, and that he hates us, and that, you know, he belongs to other people who are like, you know, white Christian fundamentalists or something, who are mad at everybody for different things and different reasons and judging people. Like, that's a negative energy agenda, truly. Because God is love and Jesus is God, love, all the same. And I never try to push my beliefs onto anybody, because I've had people do that to me, and I know how shitty that feels, and it never gave me belief. What gave me belief was having people just share their experience, and just like seeing how their life was working out, and that they said that Jesus was behind it. And I was like, okay, well, that's interesting. And then truly just having experiences with him directly. And so I just want to encourage you to not separate the ideas of energy and Jesus, basically, in the resurrection. Like, in the energy world, it's just like, I'm trying to explain it, but it's just so simplified, because it's all it is a matter of light conquering dark. That's what the resurrection was. So like, if you believe in that, then you do believe in the resurrection. You know what I mean? It's that simple. It's very simple when it comes down to it. It's not like you have to be a different Jesus person now. It's literally like, are you on board with that idea that light is more powerful than dark, that you believe in the light, that you choose the light, that you choose positivity over negativity, that you choose love over fear? That's what the resurrection is. And it's a very alive energy. And it's like the closer you come to it, the more you invite it in, the more curious about it you are. It just is there. And I think the most fascinating thing about it is that it was instant. And when it was done, it was done. And I used this. This is how I clear negative energy, by the way, is my belief in the resurrection. And I used this to change my own life, and you can use it to change your own life too. Because what does this mean? That it was done and it's already done. What that means is that anything that you're going through that's negative right now has already been conquered. That's what that means. And that you don't even have to be strong enough to conquer it. It's already been conquered. Because he took it on and he transmuted it. There is not one negative energy that he didn't do that to. So the thing you're dealing with was not left out of that. It's already been done. But it's like, how do you access that transmutation? Because you might be like, okay, well, great, Jaya, it's done. He already conquered the negative thing that I'm experiencing on the cross and the resurrection. But like, why do I still feel negative? It's because you're not accessing the resurrection. You have to ask for it. You have to access it. You have to invite it. And it will never reject you. Like I said, God doesn't reject you. It's the other way around. So you ask for the resurrection energy to come into the place where you have something going on. If you know there's a block in your heart chakra, if you know you have trauma, if you know you have fear, if you know you have a pattern, if you know you have illness, if you know you have something going on, and I know you know all your problems very well, ask the resurrection energy to come into that, and it will never reject you. And you might be like, how can it be that easy? Well, the language of the energy world is belief. And that's why all through the Bible and many times, Jesus said, you pray, when you ask, believe. And so that's the thing that you need to work on, is your belief, is, praying with belief, asking with belief, which will invite it in faster, which will invite it in more deeply or in a bigger, more expansive quantity, the resurrection energy. And how do you have belief? Well, that's the practice. That's what you build day by day. That's what you build through experiences. But you have to start. You have to start asking and then start receiving. And then that's how you have faith, by the way. That's how you build faith. You don't have to sit here and feel bad if you don't have faith right now. I feel like I don't have faith sometimes. But you build it because you ask and you get something, and then you're like, that was you. I have more faith now. And so the next time you ask, you're going to have more belief. And you build it. It's a real relationship. And trust me, if you even just open up to having a relationship with the resurrection energy itself, that beautiful light purple energy, if you even just open up to having a relationship with that, that will be enough, in my opinion, in my words, in my perception. Because that is the highest frequency possible. And it's alive, and it's beautiful, and it cares about you, and can transmute the problems. And so when you start to experience these things changing in your life, it's going to build your relationship with that energy. And then you're going to have more belief, have more faith, and it's going to be beautiful. And again, I just want to close this by saying that that one idea can really change your life. I know it's just an idea, but it's so powerful that I'm really serious that when I saw that vision that the resurrection happened and literally already conquered my problems 2,000 years ago, it didn't just happen. It was like 2,000 years ago, it was all done already. My life is actually my dream life because everything that is not my dream life is conquered. Everything that's not me resurrected is conquered. And even if I'm not there yet, it's the truth about me. And then if you start living that way, you're going to see that that is the truth. And it takes bravery. It takes, and we do need help, you know, from the resurrection energy. But it's just so real. And I know that if you can't see it, it can be difficult. But you know what you will start to see is you'll start to see light purple. You'll start to see signs. You'll start to see just even that color in things around you, and it'll speak to you, and it's just so beautiful and full of love. And if you start to even just understand fundamentally that idea that the person that you want to be, the resurrected version of you who doesn't have trauma and doesn't have illness and doesn't have problems and doesn't have all the things from your past lives and all the gunk in your energy and all the blocks and the fear and the sadness and the depression and, you know, the anxiety and all of those things, the mental illness, all the things you're carrying, if you understand that, that's all been conquered. Even just that knowledge is such a relief, right? And that there's something that can lead you out of those things. And that they're not going to overtake you. They're not going to have the final say. And you start moving in your life as if that is the truth, and you invite the energy in to help you, like, your life is going to drastically change. And I want you to remember that it's not something that you're asking to be transmuted. It's already been done. And you're just asking for it to come and, like, activate it, basically, like the thing that's already done. I think the fact that it's already done is really important for you to know. It's already done. It's already conquered. And you just have to be like, I accept that gift. I want that. And I believe that. And let's do it. So I hope this helped you. The energy world is fascinating and incredible, and there's lots to learn all the time. But if you'd like to talk to me further about what you're going through, you can book a free consult with me. I also clear energy, which Jesus taught me to do, and I would love to talk to you about it if you feel called to do that as well. Get your energy cleared through the method that he taught me, which is here to help people as well. But open up to the resurrection energy. I hope you can see in my eyes, like, it's very real.